Hi there, welcome back. I'm exhausted. We just got back a little while ago from the Atlanta Pen Show. I had so much fun. It was really a lot of fun. I met up with a new pen friend and we hung out most of the time while we were walking around and even during the after hours things. So we just kind of hung out and swapped ink and talked, and it was just such a good time. I feel like I had more fun having somebody there. Stephen went with me, but having Diana there was just more fun. It just made it more fun. So I couldn't be happier to have made a new pen friend and have somebody to chat pens with. So I'm just gonna go through everything I got. I have a bunch of stickers just laid out. These are some of the stickers that I picked up while I was there. And I'm just gonna go through things real quick. I will show you the pens and the inks that I picked up. I only got 2 pens and 2 inks. And then just a couple other things. I was very good. It was hard. There were some things that I really wanted, but I was good. I'm really happy with the purchases. But then I also did 2 grinds and 3 or 2 or 3. I can't remember. We'll get to that, but I had some tunings done on a couple of my pens, but I did get 2 grinds as well that are really cool. So we'll talk about all of that. All right, so I'm going to get all my little stickers out of the way. I will eventually get these in my little notebook, but for now, we will just start over here with a couple of things that I picked up from the Lighthouse paper. I got some travelers. I did kind of open some things. I was like, oh, I'm going to put everything away. And then I was just like, oh, maybe I should film. Let me grab one other thing that isn't actually mine, but I bought it there. So I picked up this little Traveler's Notebook clip, or Traveler's Company clip. I have the one with the airplane on it. So I'd ordered this from Atlas a while back and they actually sent me the wrong one. I wasn't going to bother and ask them to ship me the right one. It was fine. It was not a big deal. So I saw this one. I've wanted this one for a long time. So I picked this one up. Steven wanted a Rhodia notebook. I bought him an itty bitty one. He has it somewhere. It's the little bitty tiny ones. I bought him that a long time ago. And he saw this one laying on their table and he was like, oh, I want one of those. It's a bigger notebook. So I picked that up for him. I think he really likes those. And then I found this. I've been looking for one of these for a long time. I have the smaller one. The one that's not the spiral bound. This that I have ink swatches in, but I wanted like the larger one. So now I have 2, and I think maybe I'll do samples in one and bottles in the other. I don't even know. I might need 2 of these. But anyway, I picked that up. So I was excited to find that. They were pretty good deals, so nothing really crazy. I talked to so many people there. It was awesome. Let's see. So at the inks. I'll go with the inks and we can swatch those. Let me grab my ink notebook because I'll do writing samples. I don't know. I didn't clean the pens yet, so they might, but I have a little vial that I'd taken with me of my Pilot, the one that I dip test everything in. So I may just redip them in this. I need to clean them so I can ink them, but if they'll still write, I'll write with what's in them. If not, I will dip test them and just show you how they write. But I picked up 2 inks. I got the Anderillium Rosy Maple Moth, and this was the Pen Show 2025 Atlanta Pen Show ink, and it is called Cat's Eye. Oh, is it made by Franklin Christoph? Is that what that says? I can't, my eyes are... Is that who made, or... I didn't know who actually made the ink because they didn't say. So yeah, it's a Franklin Christoph ink. Okay, awesome. So it's such a cute label. But yeah, I didn't even notice that when I was looking at it earlier. Me and Diana were trying to figure out, I think we were talking about that, who made it. But so it's a really pretty color. So we'll swatch it, and I haven't opened this one yet. This is the, Mo, stop. This is the Rosy Maple Moth pink. I love these inks. They're so nice. And I was just trying to be really good. I have so many pens, but the ones I bought, I am over the moon about. The two that I bought. But actually, like, I feel like I got like 6 new pens with my custom grinds, and the fact that they were able to fix pens that I needed some assistance with. So, okay, let me grab my tools out. Okay. All right, so we will do the Rosy Maple Moth first. Yeah, I think I will do both. Let's see. I need a rag. All right. I feel a little out of it. I took a nap. I was tired. We were only there for 2 days, but it was a lot. There was a lot going on. But I really do like these inks. I think they're the moth inks, the Luna Moth Green is just such a pretty color. And this one, Diana had picked it up earlier, and so when we went back down, or when we went down the next day, I picked it up. No, I can't remember. It was a long couple of days. What is it? Rosy Maple Moth. Pink. And I'm thinking, I don't know, I feel like one of my new pens is a little more purpley now that I'm looking at it, because I was thinking I would ink it with that, but I might actually ink it with the Pen Show ink, and it'll be a nice little contrast. But I don't know that I really want to ink it up right now. I already have my pens inked for April, so I don't know. It's hard to decide. So then we have the Cat's Eye, and this is such a pretty, like, teal color. I love it. Can't wait to see it swatch, because I didn't see, oh yeah, that's really pretty. Let's see how it looks once it kind of, I'm hoping for some shading. it doesn't have the name of the ink on the bottle, which is a little odd. It's not on the label anywhere, but it just has a cat, and it's pretty much the color of the cat's eyes on here. It is really pretty though. But even if it was something similar, which it looks a little similar to something I've seen in my collection, but I can't think of it right off the bat. It does shade really nicely though. But either way, I just want the ink to have it as commemorative. There's another thing that I picked up that they were handing out, which I kind of thought was a little odd, but I'll go over it too here in a minute once we get to it. But I was just like, I don't know. We'll talk about it in a minute. So, well, I guess we can talk about it now because I think that's everything except my pens. I think that's everything. Other than, yeah. So, Rickshaw was there, and I did not know this until actually Saturday night at the After Dark thing. We were talking to one of the guys that does a lot of stuff with Hatch, and the guy from Rickshaw came up, and he was just talking to the Hatch guy, and I guess I didn't realize until after Diana and I left, but she had said that he was one of the co-owners or co-founders of Rickshaw, or he was the owner, founder. But anyway, he was walking around with these, and I guess he was handing them out to people, and I didn't get one. So when we were getting ready to leave on Sunday, I was back over at Kirk Spears' table and looking at some of the stuff that he had, and we wanted to ask him a question. And they had these laying there, and I thought, oh, well, that's cool. So I just asked them about them, and they were selling them. So I bought one because it's for the pen show. It was a Georgia Peach or whatever, and I don't know. But Diana had gotten one from the Rickshaw guy. He gave it to her. So I bought mine, which is perfectly fine. I mean, you know, it's not a big deal, but it's peach on the outside and then yellow on the inside. So it's like a Georgia peach. And I just thought, I mean, again, it's another commemorative thing. It's just something that is part of the show. Oh, I do have one other thing I picked up. I forgot about that. I'll get to it. But yeah, I was just like, it would have been nice to have one given from him, but I didn't even know it until he was gone Sunday. By the time that I got down there, we had to check out, so we wanted to just pack up and check out and then go down to the show. So he had already gone by then, but I'm just glad to have gotten one. But it has, so this is from True Fae. This is the Atlanta Pen Show 2025 little commemorative pen. But it has, I just stuck that on there because I had it. It has the Rickshaw lanyard, and so it's attached, and I was just like, that is so cute to be able to carry around your pen like that. And especially like at trade shows or pen shows or things like that, to have this, to be able to stick a pen in and just have it with you. So I was so happy to get one. I was glad to find that they even had some left at Kirk's table. But it would have been nice to have got one for free. I mean, free things are always good, right? So, but I love it. It's so pretty, and I thought it was clever because we were in Atlanta and it's a Georgia peach. I forgot, I picked this up at one of the tables. They were selling tons of ink. I cannot remember the name of it. But it's just the color ring. And I thought, well, I could just swatch all of my bottles on this one. And I have this smaller one that maybe I could just do my samples on it. So I think I'm going to do that, sit down one day and just kind of swatch everything out on here. I think it would be easier to kind of comb through and find what I'm looking for when I'm trying to find colors, instead of looking through my big pile of inks that some of them don't even exist anymore. So I'm going to get to work on that at some point. But I was happy to find it and just pick it up. It was a pretty good deal, so I bought that. And then I guess last is just going to be my pens. And I think I'll start with we'll start and go from, I guess, least minimal, or, you know, like the tuned pins, then we'll do the grinds, and then I'll show you the 2 that I bought. So first up was this Estabrook SC. So I bought this from Atlas, but it was during their sidewalk sale. Ryan was there from, what is it, Luxury Pens or whatever. He was there and had a bunch of pens, and I saw this on the table and I wanted it, and Brendan said that he would, you know, get it from Ryan and ship it to me. So I just paid for it that way through Atlas. And when I got it, I ordered it. He told me I could have whatever nib I wanted. I got it with an extra fine. Oh gosh, it was awful. It would not write. I take that back. It does write, but it was awful. So when I was sitting at Kirk's table, I had talked to him. He was doing the grinds, and he had gotten through them pretty quick. And I was just like, hey, I've got an extra pen. If you have time to just look at it, it writes really scratchy, and it's just not a fun pen. And this one, I can't really swap the nib out on. There's something wrong with the grip section and the nib together. This nib does not work in any of my other pens, and it only fits in this one for some. It just acts weird in any other pen, but it seems to work okay in this one. So I just wanted to get it tuned and see if it would write better. So he did. I'm hoping that there's enough ink left. If not, I'll just dip it in my Pilot. But oh, it's like a dream writing with this now. Now I wish I could swap it because it writes so nice. So this is an extra fine Maui, but perfect. I love it. It's running out. I can feel it getting a little dry. So I'm going to get all these pens like cleaned up, but I absolutely love it. And the next one, I'm not sure if it's going to keep writing. I had actually written with it a little bit more earlier. So this one I had worked on by Matthew Chen, and it is the Diamond 580 from Twisby that Steven got me for Mother's Day. And since I got it, it was always just, it's really dry, not a great writer. Makes me sad because I love the way that this pen looks. So we were walking around today before we left, and Matthew Chen had nobody at his table, and I just happened to have cleaned it out last night just in case. So I was just like, can I grab a little bit of time from you and just let you look at a pen? And so he worked on this one for me. And again, it's like night and day. Writes so nice now. Oh, helps if I can spell. Iris. With a fine nib. So yeah, I feel like I just have all these new pens because now I have pens, like I use this one, but it's just not fun to write with. It was so like, I don't know, just scratchy and dry and not fun. So I'm going to ink this one back up. I had it inked up with Robin's Egg from Birmingham Pen Co., but I'm going to clean it out first and re-ink that back up for the month because I am so excited to use it now. All right. The next two pens are just, oh yeah, I also, okay, well, we can talk about this real quick. I got this from Kirk. The next two I did have ground from Kirk. So I got this from Kirk as well. And I'm actually kind of wish I had this one ground while I was there. I was like, oh God, I should just get all the pens ground because, but it is, I'm hoping that you can see, it is the nib for the pen show. So it says Atlanta 2025. It has the world and a plane, and it is a medium, just a medium Yovo nib. So I am so excited to have this, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I did buy that from Kirk while I was sitting at his table. Okay, so the two that I had round. So this is just a, I don't even know, it came on one of the pens that I bought. This is just a fine Yovo nib that I had ground into a monoline. So this thing is actually like a lot. I wish I had done an extra fine instead of the fine, because this thing is still very thick. But the pen is my pen. It's the Sweetheart pen from Bart at Zodiac Pen Co. And I love this pen. So it may, I don't think it's the nib that he sent with this. I don't think so. It might be though, but I just wanted a Yovo so I could swap out, and I wanted a silver one because I kind of use a lot of silver stuff. But even if I put it in, whatever, I'm not going to be upset if it's a silver nib and a gold trim pen. Okay, so this is the monoline. So it is Kirk Spear Mono. And I talked to Kirk, and he told me, like, my writing angle. He was like, if you ever order anything from me, tell me to grind it or tune it for an 85-degree writing angle. So I am super high. He watched me write before he did these grinds, and then I'll explain why what I got on my TWSBI is not what I said I was going to get. We talked about that one for a while. So monoline in fine, and I love, you can see that is a very wide line. It is so awesome though. This thing is so fun to write with. I'm going to clean it out, and I don't know. I need to make sure that I keep up with what this one is. So I think I'll probably label one of my little vials like this and put the nib in it, and then put it in a pen when I want to use it, so I can keep up with this. I mean, I think I'd be able to find it, because obviously that is a lot broader than a fine nib, but still. Okay, last up. So this is my TWSBI mini that I have been talking about having ground to a reverse architect nib for ages. It was the only grind that I absolutely knew that I wanted. After I wrote with my Monarch nib, I just knew I wanted something like that. And so when we were talking, he said that he could do an architect, but a reverse architect for me would not leave any tipping for the forward side for me to be able to write with it, because he said he could grind it normally like a reverse architect, but I would have to write with it like this. If I write with it like this, it's not going to work. So he said that if he ground it to where I could write with it, you know, my normal writing, to be able to do the architect, then I would not have any tipping on the forward side. So I wouldn't be able to reverse, and so it would be kind of pointless. So he talked to me about the scythe, and I had not ever seen that one before. But the grind on this thing, let me show you the grind real quick on, see if you can see it on this one. Because, let's see if you can see what that grind looks like up close for the mono line. It's very interesting in how he ground it. Love it. So excited. But then I'll show you this one. So this one is on my TWSBI mini, and I'm so excited to have this. So see if you can see the angle on that one. And this one is called the scythe. So I think I might, because I even thought about, well, maybe I'll get a spear point. But again, that's similar. I don't think I would have enough tipping to have the reverse side. So, okay, I'm going to show you what this thing writes like. It is so cool. I really was super excited once he got finished with this, and then I just keep picking it up and writing with it. It's just fun, and I think it makes, like, I think I can use this regardless of what I'm writing in or with, because it's just, I don't know, it's thin enough to not have to be like a header, which is kind of what I wanted, but I have my monarch for that, so it's fine. This is actually more fun to write with, like, all the time. So this is the TWSBI Mini Diamond. With a scythe grind. Oh my gosh. I love this so much. You can see, so it has very thin downstrokes and nice wide side strokes. And I absolutely love this. I can write fast with it. I can write slower with it, but it's just perfect. And I'm so thankful that he took the time to look at how I was writing and then explain to me that if I ever need something tuned or grind, I need to be specific that my angle, my degree of writing is 85 degrees. That way they know to tune it to my specifications. So, God, I love this thing so much. So that is what the scythe writing looks like. If you're ever interested in something like that, I highly recommend. That is amazing. So great. All right, now we'll get to the 2 new pens. This video is probably getting long and I apologize. But first up, I got my first ever Franklin Christoph. I am so excited for this pen. So we went by their table and I had looked and I kind of remembered a pink pen. And I was like, I would like that. It's nice. I like pink. I don't have a whole ton of pink pens, but I was just like, I might like that. Well, we just went on. It was our first walkthrough, and I was just like, I'm not buying anything on my first walkthrough unless it's like a one-of-a-kind. I have to have it. So I walked through. We got together with Diana and her mother, and we were just kind of talking. We went back and walked through again. And she had said, I had mentioned to her, I thought I saw a pink Franklin Christoph that I was interested in. And when we got to the table again, I was like, no, I don't really see it. And I don't actually think I did. I think I must have just been kind of thinking there was one there. So Diana asked me if I saw it, and I was like, no, I don't. But the guy standing behind the counter, I can't remember his name, said pink pens. Oh, well, hang on. And he pulled out this case, and he had 2 different pink pens in there. One of them is in here. I talked to him. I held it. I looked at it. It was a beautiful pen, but I just wasn't sure. I really wanted to be sure about these purchases. I only intended to make a few. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money, and you can get carried away at these shows. So I really wanted to make my purchases meaningful. I did go with the intent of looking at Franklin Christoph because it was a brand that I didn't own anything by. So I put the pen down and I walked away. I had my appointment with Kirk, so I didn't want to be late. So we were just kind of, walking around looking at stuff. So we moved on, and I went and had my appointment with Kirk. We went back out and sat in the lobby for a little bit. It was so hot in there, like unbelievably miserable. And I'm always cold. So anyway, I went back afterwards and said, to myself that if it was still there, then I was going to buy it. I had already bought the other pen that I have and the other pen that I bought, and I was just down to one other pen that I was going to buy. And there were a lot that really I wanted, but some I couldn't justify buying. Like, they were pretty pricey for a steel nib, and I was just, I mean, they were worth it, but I really wanted something, like I said, something a little that I hadn't had the experience yet, I guess. So Franklin Christoph has a very unique design, so I wasn't sure if I would like it, but we went back to the table and it was laying there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it because it's beautiful and it's different, and it's a pen that I wanted to own. It's not something that I can readily just kind of go pick up. And so this is the 02 model, and it's so pretty. I really love the color of it, but yeah, I think the color is a little too purpley, so maybe I'll find something different, but really it doesn't matter. I still could put that ink in it. So this has a Franklin Christoph nib that was tuned by Audrey, and she was so sweet and did such a great job. But this pen is just so, I don't know, I really love it. I don't know, it's just so unique. I guess mainly I was looking for maker pens because I wanted to support some makers. I had just bought that Sailor before the show, so I wanted to really kind of focus on maker pens. But I don't know, I couldn't get this one kind of out of my head, and then when we walked back and it was still there, I was just like, I think it's meant to be. So I picked it up. We're gonna dip test it. Like I said, Audrey did, she tuned it and then let me try it and then tuned it a little bit more. So it works really nice. She does a great job at tuning pens. So I'm excited to have this one, but I guess I could put a different nib on it if I wanted to use. That was what I was kind of thinking of, is putting my monoline on this. I think that would be kind of fun. But anyway, this is my Franklin Christoph 02 model with a fine nib. And it writes beautifully. She did a great job. I love this pen. It is so fun. But I really think I scored on this next purchase. The next purchase is a pen that I've never heard of this maker before. And we walked past their little booth, and nothing really caught my eye. And when we walked back the second time, Diana had bought a pen from there and she showed it to me, and I was like, God, that's gorgeous. I didn't remember anything like jumping out at me on their table, but the first time we walked through, it was miserably hot and there was a ton of people. So I was just kind of ready. I was ready to go, and we had just gotten there. But when I walked back, there wasn't very many people there, and I saw this pen, and I had to have it. I just saw it, and I was just like, oh my goodness, that pen is gorgeous. So this is from, I want to make sure I get the name right. I kept calling them something different yesterday. I think I was calling them Little Hollow Pens, and it's Little Hollow Customs. So yeah, Little Hollow Customs. So that is their website, and they have an Instagram, which I've already followed. But this pen, and I have not tested it yet. I haven't written with it. This pen is so pretty. There is just something about this resin, and I haven't, let's see, I think it's in this case. I pulled out my birthday pen, the one that I love from Walltown, and I think this sparkles. So this has that greenish blue glitter. This thing has like a very similar greenish blue glitter in it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need that pen. It just, yep, I just need it. It just goes with my other pen. But the transparent spots just sold me. I was like, that is so cool. And there's just a little bit, you can kind of see through the whole body of it, but specifically like down here at the bottom. But the nib, seeing that is so cool. And then the finial has the most adorable little squirrel on it. And a beautiful nib. Hopefully you can see that with the squirrel on it as well. They let me choose. This was a new logo. So they let me choose if I wanted the old logo or this one. So I got this one in a medium. It's also a Yovo. So I'm gonna just dip test it, and it's probably just like, you know, the other Yovos. But I wish I had gotten some of these ground because I love the grinds. Crazy. But yeah, I had not tested this one. I don't know why I didn't test it at the table. He said I could, but I was just like, I'm good. I want the pen. I don't care. I can always change the nib, but I want this nib too because it's got the squirrel on it. It goes with it. So this is Little Hollow Customs. And I don't know the name of this resin, so I'm going to message them and ask them if they can tell me. This is a thinner pen than most of mine, but it's still very comfortable. So it is in a medium nib. And it writes just like every other Yovo. It writes very beautifully. But the pen was, I needed this pen. It is so pretty. And I love that finial. I can't get over the little peekaboo parts. It's such a pretty pen. And the pictures and videos I took of it did not do it justice. So hopefully this is coming through. And you can see how pretty this is. I love it. And then the little case that they gave me with it was so cute. It just like wraps around it. It's so cute. So that is everything that I picked up at the Atlanta Pen Show. We had a really good time. I got to talk to a lot of people at the Pen Show After Dark, or Pen Show After Dark is that what they called it. So we talked to some people there and just kind of hung out. It was really fun. So yeah, I think that's everything for this one. I'm going to go clean all my pens out and get them inked and kind of, I don't know, do something. Anyway, that is everything. I had a blast. It was so much fun. And I can't wait to go back next year. Next year, I think I'm going to be a little more prepared. There were a lot of pens that were like things that either they don't sell anymore or, you know, they're used and somebody's picked them up. And I just didn't want to spend a bunch of money on those. I mean, like, yes, that's fine. I could have bought, but I don't know. I was trying to be mindful. I still have my platinum body coming that I haven't really used. I haven't had time to really write with my new Sailor. I just feel like I've been buying a lot of pens that I need to use here lately. So I had a blast. And I can't wait to go back next year. So, all right. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And it would mean the absolute world if you consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next one.